Welcome to Global Village TV show. My name is advocacy. I'm host of the program. We are very honored to have two wonderful ladies today, Karen and Susan from Brooks. Karen is the chairperson of the Board of Trustees with Grasslands Administration, and Susan is superintendent of the Grasslands Administration. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Could you please tell us, Karen, a little bit about yourself?
I will. I'm a native Albertan. I was raised on a farm east of Airdrie, and most of my life I've been in public education. I got my degree from University of Calgary in 1971 and started teaching then in an area around Calgary. It was called Rocky View School Division, and I taught for them for 12 years. And then in 1983, my husband took a job in Brooks, and we moved there and have been there ever since.
Wow.
And I was very fortunate to get a job as soon as I got to Brooks, and I taught in Brooks schools and in the county schools for the next 22 years. Ended up in my career in administration, and in 2005 I retired from education, and in 2007 I ran for school board, and that was my first term, and now I'm in my second term on the school board.
Wow. And you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Okay, Susan.
I too am an educator. I am entering my 30th year in education, so it has been a wonderful journey. I am a forever Albertan also. Our family, my great-grandparents came to the area in 1918, and so in our family, in the Graham family, we have 5 generations of farmers.
Wow.
So it has been a wonderful place to live. My husband and I have three children, and they have all been through the public school system, and they have been very well served. We are very grateful that we live in the area. We love Brooks. We love the County of Newell, Eastern Irrigation District. We're very fortunate, and I have taught in many different schools within the County of Newell and Grasslands, and have been an administrator, and just feel very blessed.
Well, you're also doing a great job, and education is very important to our society.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Could you tell us a little bit about the Grassland Administration's background?
Yeah, I'll start with that one. Prior to 1994, there were 2 school districts, the Brooks School District and the County of Newell, and in 1994 they amalgamated and came together to form Grasslands. And at that time they decided to have 6 trustees, so that's what we have in our Board of Education right now. We have 3 trustees that represent the Brooks ward, and 3 trustees represent 3 different regions within the county. Presently, we have 13 schools and 7 colonies in our district. We educate about 3,200 students. We have about 400 employers, so we're the 2nd biggest employer in the area. Something that's kind of interesting, a little fact, is that we have 44 bus routes, and our bus supervisor tells us that they average about 1 million kilometers a year driving. So you can tell that we're very, very rural because of that. Yeah, a lot of mileage put on our buses. We're very proud of our district. I think it does very well, and it's well known across the province as being a good district. And I think that's a result of many things. We have a very dedicated and hardworking staff. We have parents that are very supportive and a community that's very supportive, and we really work with a great bunch of children. So that's a plus as well. So we're very, very proud as a board of our district and what it's become.
So you are the 2nd largest employer in the neighborhood?
Yes,
After
yes we are.
After Excel Lakeside?
After Lakeside, yeah, exactly.
Wow, that is. What about the county? And do they have less employees, the Newell County Administration then?
You know, I'm not sure of their number. I would say so.
Yeah, we're the
second largest. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's.
And so it's a great responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, when we educating children is a great responsibility. Taking care of the community is a great responsibility, and it's one we take very seriously.
Seriously, absolutely.
And we have to. We have been so fortunate because we have had terrific support from our provincial government. You know, in the last 5 years, we have had 3 major modernization projects, Bassano School, Duchess School, Alcoma School. We've had some major support for additional spaces with Griffin Park School and Eastbrook School, and we will be soon starting building a new school. So with Alberta Education and Alberta Infrastructure, they have been fabulous at supporting our communities. And you know, the last Minister of Education, Minister Hancock, came to Brooks to see, you know, to see the community. Deputy Minister Carrie Hankey has been out to Brooks. Our present Minister of Education, Minister Johnson, was committed to finding out more about our system. So we have been so fortunate. Our former MLA was very supportive of Grasslands, of all of the school systems in Brooks, and we're hoping to continue with a positive relationship. But we just have had many blessings in our system.
No, and I think education is extremely important for the growth of the community.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Without education, I think you cannot build a community.
Right.
That's the bottom line. As a newcomer to our area, either Brooks or County of Newell, what would a family need is to know about the procedure, how their children will join the school?
Well, the first thing that they would need to do is to contact the school or Grasslands office, and we will direct them to the right school. But I think it is really important to go into the school and to take the child or the children, because we want them to feel comfortable in their environment. And so if it's during the summer, just go into the school. Maybe the child can take a look around, know where their classroom will be, and just so they are comfortable. We really love it when parents are involved in the schools, when they feel comfortable going to the schools. They know that their children are well taken care of. So we really encourage parents to be a part of the education system. We also, if there is a newcomer to the area, and if they speak a different language, then all they need to do is let the administrator know, and they will get someone in to help with translations. So we will do whatever we can to make it so that it is a smooth transition for the parents, because parents want to do what is best for their children.
So they have to be in advance before the September.
Yes, it's better if they can. It's better for the child, so that the child starts right away as soon as the first day of school comes in September. It just, for the children, we always have to think what would be best for that individual child. And so for the child, they would probably feel more comfortable. If they come after the 1st of September, it's not a worry, as long as the child feels comfortable. And so if they come after, for instance, if they were to come the 2nd of November, then as long as the parent comes to the school with the child and the child feels comfortable going into a new place.
That is well said. Coming back to the 2012-2013 fiscal year, I think there was some increasement of some programs, including the ESL school. Would that be enough to improve the education, especially the ESL programs in our areas?
Well, actually, there was an area of funding that was reduced, and it's called the Enhanced ESL funding. And so that was reduced. There were several other grants that were either reduced or eliminated. And so overall, with Grasslands, we are looking at approximately a 1.1% increase in funding. And so our board is extremely fiscally responsible. They have discussions on budget, and it always comes back to what is best for the student. And so with our English language learners students specifically, we already spend more money with our children than we receive. Our board is committed to this, because if we spend more money when these children are learning the language, then they will flourish with curriculum once they know the language. And so an example of this would be in our high school classes. We have smaller classes, we have curriculum-specific classes, so the students feel comfortable asking questions. They are not in a class of 25, they're in a class of 11 or 12 or whatever the number is. And this way, if we support as the students are learning, then we find that we get much better results. And we are pleased with our ESL programming. We are pleased with the success that our children are achieving. We're getting more and more kids who are graduating, and more kids who are developing that confidence and competence. So
I think too, with the funding, one thing we're really happy with, and all school boards in Alberta are happy with, is they've gone to a system now where they will let us know our grants. In fact, we know our grants now for 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Before that, every February, okay, what are we going to get, you know? And now we know that. And as school boards across Alberta have been really promoting the idea of stable, predictable funding. And it sure helps us plan ahead down the road 2 or 3 years, so that if we know we have, say, ESL issues, then we can start to address those because we know what our funding is going to be. So that was a very positive thing for the government to do.
Yeah, and also one of the things that I think when it comes to ESL, the difficulties and challenge that sometimes we have, from my personal opinion, is when you have an immigrant kid born in Brooks or County of Newell, that kid, he or she, first language should be English, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But if the kid is turned to probably watching a different language on the TV from home country, that will reduce the kid when he or she goes to the central school. The kid will not have the tools necessary to succeed, because the kid was born here should be given the opportunity to speak the language as a first language. The mother tongue language will not fade away because the parents are there, but the fact is still the kid was born here and then goes to ESL is something that personally with some friends we also always advocate to the people that the kid should have the ability and the tools to succeed. But if you're holding the kid back for some unknown reason of your language will fade away, not that your language will not fade away, but give the opportunity for the kid. The first language should be English. When my kids were born here, their first language was English, and they went to central school like any other kid, and they went straight to the class. Did not, because first language at home was English. They watch English TV and all that stuff. So otherwise, you're going to have a lot of kids who were born here and can't speak the language.
It's really important. We know the benefits of learning many languages, and so children whose parents speak a different language, they are really giving their children gifts when they are helping them to be confident in 2 languages or 3 or 4. It is so good for brain development, and it is a real gift that these children can have, being able to speak more than one language. It is a real gift.
And that's precisely the importance of the kid to have the opportunity to be given all the tools necessary.
Yes.
Some of the places that we come from, especially girls don't go to school for the cultural reason. So coming here and having that opportunity, you should be giving all the tools necessary for the kid, whether he or she, so they can succeed in a level playing field and succeed for whatever they want to reach.
That's right. We are really we are really fortunate also with the services that are available to parents and to families in Brooks. It really helps our individual students. If the parents and the families are supported, Brooks and Community Immigration Services has been really wonderful to work with. The SPEC Association for Children and Families has great services. We have adult learning services both at the college and with other agencies, and we are really lucky because the parents too are learning, and we are very, very lucky.
The issue of the age limit, which was brought actually when our Premier Alison Redford was running the election, and one of the questions I asked her during that time when she came to Global Village was the age limit, and she promised that she will look into this issue very serious and increase the limit from 19 to 21, same as Saskatchewan. Would that did they make any change from Alberta government on the age limit? Yeah,
that has been brought up into the new Education Act, and so it's there. But we have been told that will be brought up in the fall legislature, so we'll see where that goes, so that it will become law if that happens.
Oh, okay.
But the Education Act, the new Education Act, when it comes out, there's been lots and lots of consultation involved, and we've been involved in that, and we certainly let them know that we are in favor of raising the age because it will help many of our students. I know, Susan, you probably have some examples of that.
Absolutely, and I guess I really appreciate you asking the question and advocating for this, Ahmed, because it is really very, very important for our students. I'll give you an example to illustrate the importance. If a child comes into our school system not speaking any English when they're little, even up to the age of 12 or 13, they will learn the language and they will learn the curriculum, and there will not be a problem with them graduating, perhaps in 4 years rather than 3, but often they flourish and they will graduate within the 3 years. But if a child enters the school system in grades 9, 10, 11, or 12 with limited English, it is very difficult for them to learn both the language and the curriculum in 4 years. And so having the children funded, as you said, similar to the Saskatchewan system until they are 21, it then gives them the opportunity to learn the language and learn the curriculum, get their high school diploma, and then they have the opportunities that post-secondary education will afford them. And so to us, this is really, really important. And I know that you have advocated for this in other venues, and I really appreciate that. It is very good for our students.
No, thank you very much. I think because I believe that without education, today's youth will be the leaders for tomorrow. So we cannot actually, as an Albertans, we cannot advocate, if we don't advocate for the kids who become the leaders tomorrow. We're not competing other parts of Canada, or we're not competing other parts of the world. So to have a viable economic cycle, Alberta to be strong in many years to come, and Canada, we should be investing in the youth and we should be investing in the kids. So that's my motto. Sometimes my wife says you have too many things on your plate, which is fine, and education is extremely important. So I take my priority shuffle, even though the Global Village, both radio and TV involved, and other organizations, Rainbow and others, but still education is something that I have a passion, and we need to give the youth every tools that they can succeed.
Yeah, I've always said, Ahmed, that the students today are going to be our neighbors and our community members tomorrow. And so we have to be very careful about how we educate them, that they will be prepared to be our neighbors and working in our communities. So Absolutely. There's nothing more important than education in our society. So.
Arnold was a very great person that was advocating on behalf of many that age limit, and was a wonderful gentleman and very great MLA that we had.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
He did a great deal for education in our area.
Yeah, he was a great success and will be part of the history in our area.
Yes.
Coming back to how do you see the diversity in our area, which actually sometimes looking the two side of the coin, you have a immigrant population, which the country was built immigrant in many ways, and then you have the cowboys, which feel that why these immigrants coming, they feel they entitled something. So it is to bring the two in a way understandable for the common good of the city and the county. How do you see the advantage of diverse populations such as the one we have?
Well, I think it's absolutely wonderful. And you know, when you talk about the ranching population, one of our trustees, Max Tateson, is a very successful rancher, and he was part of the Brooks, the City of 100 Hellos production. And I thought he was just so eloquent when he said, we travel the world to learn about other cultures and other languages and to meet other people. He said, look at us now. He said, the world has come to us. We couldn't be more fortunate. And so I think that mirrors the sentiment of many people, that I do not know how we could be this lucky to have such diversity in our community, in Prairie City and in the middle of some farming lands. We are really lucky because we are learning so much. We have the different foods that we have in our community. We have so many languages that we learn, and we could not be more fortunate. I just think it is a real blessing, and as I said, I couldn't think of a better place to raise our children and to live. We're just so fortunate.
And when we did our strategic plan a few years ago, Ahmed, we went through a list of values that we have. And one of our values was that diversity shall be honored and celebrated. And I think our schools have done a wonderful job with that. I think, too, the advantage of our diversity for our students is just phenomenal. They get to see different cultures and hear different languages and learn about different customs. And when they graduate, you know, they're aware of the world, because the world, is, like Susan said, has come to them. So I just think it's a great opportunity for our students to learn from each other.
I came with our Mayor Martin some time back to Tilly School.
Yes.
And he asked me to come with him and give a presentation at the school. First time they seen a black guy giving them presentation. And was good. The reception, the principal was a great guy. The teachers were very great. And give them presentation at the time with Mayor Martin, explain to them how lucky that they live in Canada and how the problems in other countries, and etc. And we need to praise the fact that we live in a society which is a diverse population.
That's right.
Schools are spearheading for that diverse, because that's the youth. If you go to school, you will find every color, every religion.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And you guys are doing a great job for that. I have to commend that one and say you guys are doing a great job, especially for these grassland schools. I haven't been the Catholic school yet, but I'm sure they're doing the same thing. But grassland, as far as I've been all the Grassland Division school, most of them.
Right.
And I have seen a lot of improvement and diverse students praising each other and playing each other, and that is where the adult generation, it will take some time. Education and ignorance.
But it will come through the children. Both the Catholic system, the St. Joe's and Holy Family, and we have a Francophone system too in our city. They also do a great deal of work with celebrating diversity and supporting our English language learners. And it, I believe that there are changes that have already been made, and I think that I just look at our young people, and they are open and excited about having such a wealth of education available through conversations, and so we have great kids.
The school will be opening very soon in September, and youth going back to school. Summer is done, so back to reality, I guess. So what message would you like to share with the students going back to school now, for them to keep up and complete the school and then go for higher education?
A message to our students? I would think, well, first of all, we wish them well in this coming year for sure, and to work hard, right? You know, when they're done, it's about lifelong learning, and so we want to instill that. You never stop being a learner, and to keep doing that. And we also really try to stress, besides the learning part of it, there's the citizenship part of it, to always be a good citizen, and a good citizen in our community. So I think those would be my two messages: is keep learning, learn for a long time, and really concentrate on being a good citizen for our community and for our country.
Thank you.
And Susan, I don't know if you...
Oh, my message to our students would be welcome. There are exciting opportunities ahead of you. Work diligently, respect those around you, be grateful that we have an opportunity to have an education system that is open to all.
Well, I have to say that education is extremely important, and both of you have shown a great leadership of improving of the Grassland Administration Public Schools, and I personally call you, both of you, unsung hero that community needs to know, and you're doing a great job. And thank you very much for coming to a Global Village TV show, and I hope we will see you soon, and continue the good job you're doing for the community. And if you can do anything, please give us a call.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was the end of our Global Village with two wonderful ladies, Karen and Susan. Both of them happen to be unsung hero for our community. This is Ahmed Kassim, your host. We hope you will join us next time. Until then, God bless you and have a nice evening.